Well, we're back again with a little bit more with Bobingen, just as I told you before, a little bit earlier on today. So we are up to the 16th match of the season, which means that we have reached the halfway point of the season. This means that we play all of the other teams in the league one more time. Today we are hosting Dinkelscherben, and they happen to be first in the league. So let's go ahead and take a little look here and do a little bit of a review of the season up to now and have a little bit of a preview of this game. At first I was thinking about doing a real fancy sort of a preview for this, but then I realized that I can probably just show you everything and it works just as well. At the beginning of the season, I was using a strikerless tactic. This should have been a warning sign to me. I mean, these are all teams that are up above us. We beat our under-19s team twice. We tied with them twice, and then we lost to them. And that should have been really the sign to me that maybe there was something wrong with the tactic and maybe we should have a change. We then proceeded to lose the first 4 matches of the season. That included this 1-0 defeat to Dinkelscherben in a match that was a little bit frustrating because I thought that we played fairly well. We had most of the possession, and we did do a couple of good things in that match, but we just were not able to see it through in the end. So we ended up not winning. It was Heiko Wolfram who ended up scoring the goal for Dinkelscherben, and he happens to be their best scorer. He has 15 appearances, 10 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the match. 7.27 is his average rating. So that's the best player that they have over on Dinkelscherben. If you look over the competitions, you can see that they have 32 points from those 15 matches. We have 22 from 15 despite losing the first 4. It was after we lost the first 4 that we decided to change the tactic, and it was after that that Ahmed Kutsu started scoring goals for fun. He has 11 goals so far in all competitions. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight on into this. If you're new here, you don't have to start from the beginning. You can start from here. You can start anywhere you want. What I do, I should say, is I tend to play in the classic 2D mode, and I have a lot of fun with this. This actually has been my favorite save in a long time, and this save will go on for quite some time. That I can guarantee you. People have asked me about Bobingen. Can you play with them in FM 26? You cannot. Unfortunately, the people who make the lower league German file for FM 26, I realize I don't have my cursor on. I'll turn that on here for you. It makes it a little bit easier. People who make that lower league file don't go down this far anymore. Part of that, I think, is because it's kind of hard to do that in the pregame editor. Kutsu not able to get there. Actually, part of the problem is that if you go down this far, you end up with thousands upon thousands of teams, and it becomes very complicated. Bobingen is a pretty small, I wouldn't say city, it's a pretty small small town is what I would say, near Augsburg. I wouldn't say it's a village. It's got a couple thousand people there. Maybe it's even over 10,000 now. Now, Dinkelscherben, I was just looking it up, that's not even a town, it's a municipality. And it consists of, I think it's about 8 or 9 different villages. Overall, the population in 2023 was a little bit over 6,000 people, and that includes all of the villages, right? So that means that there's not a whole lot going on there. That's kind of what's happening in Dinkelscherben. So it should be very surprising to anybody who stumbles across this video that you can play as Dinkelscherben in Football Manager 17. Brouwer, and he has to just take it away from him. You would think that we would do very well against this type of very rural team, but you know how things are in Football Manager. We can't even get the ball in to our big scorer. Sander, with a very good job, is not called for the foul, and then he gives it away, and no, it was Heiko Wolfram who ends up being called for the foul, which is very good. We like to see their best player get in trouble. Brouwer, and that was finally, Brouwer has a free kick shot that is on target. He's had so many that have just gone blasted over the top, and it doesn't happen. Brouwer here now takes the corner, and that was an awful corner. It goes back to Lehmann. Lehmann, by the way, is actually a pretty good player. It's just that he frustrates me when he gets sent off too many red cards. That was a problem that we had a lot at the beginning of the season, and that problem has gone away now that we've gotten our confidence up. But we always have to be careful. We don't want to have too many guys sent off. At this level, all sorts of things happen. And fortunately for us, that attack from Dinkelscherben ends up going nowhere, and it's still scoreless. We're about 20 minutes into the match. Lehmann with this over in our own half. He has good control over to Michael. Tim Michael has been an excellent player for us. Sander over to Ahmed Kutsu, our favorite player. Finds Smayek to Brouwer. Brouwer to Michael. Look at Kutsu going up there. Smayek, and he's looking for him. Sander. Kutsu is finding all sorts of space, trying to stay on side. Smayek now with it, and he's going to shoot instead of passing, and that's a very good save by their keeper, Antik. And that was a very, very impressive offensive move by us, and I like what I see. Brouwer now looking for Smyek, can't quite find him. And that's going to be the end of that attacking movement. So if you watch this save from the very beginning, and the way that I like doing it is I'll show you all the matches. It might go a little bit slower, but who cares? This is FM 17, right? If you watch it from the very beginning, you will notice that at the very beginning here, we definitely weren't playing quite like that. We have improved in our ability to shoot the ball, to pass, and to do all sorts of things as time has gone on. We're playing more and more like a team, and this is looking less like a project that's going to crash out and fail, and more like a project that is going to succeed. And I'm in here, just so you know, for the long run. So it might be quite a journey for us. So you might as well kick back and enjoy, and I'll take you along with us. We're scoreless here at halftime. Now, I hope that we can go out and win this, and that's exactly what the assistant has told them. We would really like a win since we're at home, and we would really like to take the leaders of the league and kind of show them who's boss. Smyek back over to Lehmann. Lehmann finds Brouwer. Brouwer down to Flaig. Flaig, and it's been all Bobingen here. Sander over to Flaig. Finds Brouwer. Looking inside, and they're just not able to find anybody open there and in the inside. Mikael looking for a way to get it in. Can't. Flaig over to Lehmann. I love the 2D Classic mode. It's so easy to see. And Lehmann's pass, unfortunately, is not a particularly good one. And we're still having that frustration. They're playing a very, very defensive setup, and that's what's been bothering us. Brouwer now to Kutsu. Kutsu over to Smyek. What we really need is a break. That's what would really help us out. Back to Flaig. Flaig to Mikael. Mikael, and they're just playing parking the bus. Mikael, and there's nothing to it. And Scheidhader, is that his name? Passes over to Sona. And Sona has some space, and Lehmann gets in there. And their shot in the end ends up being shot right to the side netting. I was about to say, this is, now of course we're seeing the 3D angle, but this is the reason why I use the 2D Classic angle, because as you'll notice, it's a lot easier to see what's actually happening when you watch it. It's a lot easier to visualize things if you're visualizing them in your own mind, as opposed to having the 3D engine to show you stuff. The 2D engine, especially in the older Football Manager games, is superior, and I will never understand why they went away from this, because this is what Football Manager is really about. We're in trouble. Here comes Wolfram, and fortunately for us, his shot is way off target. But boy, I tell you, my heart was up in my throat for a second there. And it looks like Dinkelscherben now has finally gotten an attacking movement, and it was Özkral there blocking that shot, fortunately for us, saving the day at the very last second. So we are in a little bit of trouble. We need to have some sort of attack here if we're going to win this game. Fuchel with the save, but he can't hold on to it. It's knocked away. Brouwer's running after it. This would have been our perfect opportunity to make something happen, but unfortunately Brouwer is a little bit too slow, and that's kind of the end of our attacking attempt. We do have a corner here now. Brouwer looking for Mikael, can't find him. This is knocked all the way back. There is nobody for Dinkelscherben back there. They've completely given up right now on mounting any sort of attack. Lehmann with it all alone, far in his own territory, and he looks forward for Kutsu. Kutsu doesn't get the header, but Flaig is there, and Sander has it now in midfield. We have a much better setup than they do. Smyek now over to Sander, down to Mikael, to Brouwer. Brouwer shoots and scores, and there he is. Our highest paid player, Søren Oliver Brouwer, has scored and put us up 1-0. I've been complaining about him for the entire save. If you don't believe me, you can go back and watch it. You will see in a number of videos that I complain about Brouwer's not shooting. He's not doing what I thought he would. It looks like Brouwer has woken up. And that puts us up 1-0. Now, we do have time. There's about 23 minutes left. But if we can continue to attack the way that we have been, if we continue to dominate the possession, who knows what's going to happen? And if we win this match, who knows what's going to happen in this league? That really means that we're a team to be reckoned with, but they have the ball. And Flaig ends up knocking it out there of the danger zone. But they have it again, and it's over to Sonha, whose shot, fortunately, is wide, and he was offside anyway. It looks like he was either offside or there was a foul. Now, look at this angle here. This is what FM 2017 looks like. And tell me again that FM 26 looks better than this. This looks perfectly fine to me. And he wasn't offside. He was actually onside. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Fly down to Sander. Sander to Rausch. Rausch. He had Kutsu and didn't see him. He had him and didn't see him. Ilmaz knocks it back over to Sander. Sander over to Mikael. Mikael to Brouwer. He should be playing with the 2D engine instead of looking at, what's in front of him. And Wolfram, and that was bad by our keeper. Wolfram ends up scoring, and that ties it. That was very, very poor by our keeper, Fulco, who decided to get out of the box and found himself there in no man's land. Right here, he's saying, do I go for it? Do I not? He starts to go for it, and then he tries to come back, and there's just nothing he can do about it. Wolfram is too fast, and he's too good, and you can't do anything about that if you're caught out in the wrong place like that. To Mikhail, gets it over to Smaik. Smaik to Kutsu. We have a chance. We have numbers. Back to Smaik. They have somewhat recovered on defense, but we still have a good chance, I think. Mikhail with it. We tend to be very, very good when it comes to this sort of half court play. Smaik over to Sander. Sander takes the shot, and we need to get him a little bit more on target there. We only have a couple minutes left, but yeah, when it comes to playing in our attacking half, we tend to be very, very good. Brouwer over to Sander. Sander over to Yilmaz. Brouwer down to Rausch. We're trying to move the defenders down. Sander now, and it's deflected off of two Dinkelscherben players. They do end up clearing it in the end, and it's Lehmann back over to grab it, over to Flaig. Flaig now to Mikhail. Mikhail to Sander. Sander to Brouwer. Brouwer, and he loses it, and this is going to be problematic, and we might see a potential draw go away as Wolfram has it, and there's nobody really on him, and he passes over to Sona for the easy tap, and now we've gone down 2-1. And Sebastian Sona has taken them all the way back. And you want to talk about being FM'd. We have 61% of the possession. We had all of the attacks in this game, and we are down 2-1. So, I mean, maybe it's something to do with our quality. Maybe it's a tactic that doesn't have quite enough defense to it. I'm not sure what it is. Or maybe we just had bad luck. I don't know. But that's the way it's been. I guess we haven't had all of it. 3 shots on target for both teams. It's just that they've had 2 go in. We've only had 1. Brouwer now back to Mikhail as we are playing with a fury. To Sander to Rausch now. Rausch looks up, and it's Smaik, and he just misses. Just misses that. He was wide open. He was about as open as you can be. Here's that bird's eye angle, and you can see this right here. He's going to be on the left side of your screen. It's Rausch there with it, and he passes it up. It was deflected, and Smaik just... It's the level that we're at. We're down in like the 7th tier. This match is going to end, and we're going to end up losing a match that we really should have won. And pass over to Lehmann. There's just no time left, and that does it. So Bobingen will always make it dramatic. It's always going to be a match like this. We were very, very unlucky out there. We should have won this match. We had a great performance by Brouwer, who ends up becoming the player of the match. I mean, he had an 8.3 rating, played incredibly well, but unfortunately for us, we end up with a loss. It doesn't hurt us in the standings. We're still in 7th place. We are now, since Dinkelscherben won, we are 13 points behind them with 14 matches to go. So there is still a chance that we can overtake them, but it's going to be very, very difficult from here. So we'll see what happens. I do like what I've seen, though, and I do think that we still have a chance. I'm still very optimistic. If it doesn't happen this season, it'll happen next season, but I worry that I may have spent too much and put us kind of out of business. But we'll see what happens. You never know. It's Football Manager. Crazy things happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, stick around for more. And if you didn't, just let me know and I'll change something. Talk to you later. Bye.